Ben. Here's a little Blender tutorial I said I'd make for you. This is for anyone else too, if you're looking at this video. I'm just going to show you how to put that repeating texture on the cube. Or anything you want, really. But with all the normal maps, you know, the displacement or bump map, whatever you want to call it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. So we start out with the basic default Blender cube, you know, your normal thing when you just start a new file. Pretty great thing. You already have a material preloaded in, so you're gonna want to, right? What you're gonna do is lift this up. If we're going off a new file, you might have it open, something open somewhere else. Who knows? But from there, we're gonna go into the shader editor, and here's where we have the dreaded nodes. Yes, sir. We have a bunch of nodes. Now, your basic texture file that you're going to download is probably going to give you a color file, which is just pretty much the image, the basic image itself. It's going to give you the color file, it's going to give you a bump map file, and it's going to give you a, what's the other one? A normal file, right? Sometimes it might give you some roughness or ambient occlusion. And I'm going to show you how to do roughness in this one. I'm not sure how to do ambient occlusion just yet, so like, sorry if you wanted to know that one, but this is what I'm going to show you just to get this in with the texture you gave me to. Ben gave me a concrete texture that he wants to use in something, so I'm going to show him how to do it. So, by consequence of that, show everyone how to do this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to load up, we're going to go to the add, and we're going to go to texture, image texture. Easy peasy, right? And from there, you hit open, and you go through your files, you find where you have it downloaded. So I have it just in my downloads file, it's in the concrete folder here. And here's the color, right? This is the easiest one. You plug it into base color. Okay. Oh, and be sure to put it in the rendered view so you can actually see the texture up there. Now, you're going to notice that this just does not look right. This is not the texture you downloaded. It just kind of is cut off there. So you're going to want to go here to this little thing here, and you're going to want to go into your UV editor. That's right. Now, click your cube. I have all the little inputs on the bottom left if you need to know what I'm clicking. In fact, let me lower that just a little bit so you can see better. Okay, and so then you take the cube to edit mode, and now you'll see that you have an unwrapped little thing of the thing. A kite, if you will, of your object. And with that, I mean, if I unwrap it again, since it's just a cube, this is the basic unwrap. You're going to want to unwrap it, you know, as you will with any shape that you have. So if you have a more complex thing, you're probably going to have several unwrapped. You're probably going to have several times, like several things. Like, you can unwrap individual faces of this. Let me click the faces select. You can unwrap individual faces at a time and like have the different faces be on the UV editor at different points. And see, like these are the different points of the square that I have selected. See, so you can really change how the texture is looking on here. But for now, since it's just a cube, and as far as I know, Ben just wants to make a wall, so we're going with some very basic stuff. Now, a big thing Ben asked is how do you make it repeating texture? Well, I'm here and happy to tell you, the texture is already repeating by default. No matter how far we zoom out, you see that the texture is repeating, right? Since we downloaded a repeating texture. And for now, I'm just going to have pretty much one square meet the size of the texture. I mean, it's not going to be exact, but like, you know what I'm saying. That's pretty good. That'll suit my needs for this tutorial. Right, so from there, I'm going to go out of edit mode, back into object mode, just so we can get a better look at it. And we're going to go to shader mode. Back into the shader editor, that is. So now you have this, and you see you have your little options here. I usually set it to closest, just so I have the actual, you know... Well, I usually do that for the Guild Corp stuff. when I'm making like the 3D environments for the Giggle Corp cartoon, because we like to have a very pixelated look. But this is just basically it's interpolation mode. So linear, it's basically for your normal needs. You probably are gonna want to leave linear or cubic or one of these other things. You know, smart maybe even. I'm gonna go on closest just because it's my personal preference. I like having like the clear pixels of the image, but you leave it. That's up to you, right? And you'll see here on the image texture thing already it has it set to repeat, right? If we didn't have it set to repeat, well then it would clip. That's what happens when you have it set to clip. It just kind of leaves everything that's not mapped properly. It just kind of puts into a black. I'm not sure what extend does. Oh, extend just okay. Well, that's pretty easy then. It extends it. If you've ever seen anything like that, you know, it just extends it. It kind of makes it look ugly. So repeat. If you have a repeating texture, this is the best thing to do with it. Repeat it. So from here, you have your normal and your bump map. So first thing you want to do is get out, add a new node, right? Go to the vector option, do bump, right? Bump is your basic. This is how you're gonna get your normal and your This is how you're gonna get your normal and your bumps into there. Now, okay, you're also gonna want a normal map. See. Now, if you don't have a bump map, you can just plug your normal into your normal here, and then that's it. If you don't have a bump map, if it didn't give a bump map, if it only gave you a normal, then just go for that. Similarly, if you only have a bump map, then just plug this into here. Now, we're going to be plugging this into here because we're going to be plugging this normal into this normal. You see it says normal. So, this is going to calculate the bumps based off the normal map and the bump map, which is going to be plugged into the height. Now, we'll get back to that. I'm going to add another image texture right here. And I'm going to duplicate it with Shift D. I'm going to plug this into this color right here into this color. Plug this color, this color into this height. Now this is going to be our bump map, or sometimes it's called a displacement map. So if you download this file and it says displacement instead of bump map, or bit map, or whatever, just know that is your bump map. That's what's going into the height. So from here, in the concrete file, let's see, where did I put it? There it is. In the concrete, we have concrete displacement. So there's our displacement. And as you can see, it's a little bit rough here. I'm going to leave that out for now, just so you can see the normal first. You can already see we're getting some weird lighting on it. So I'm going to open up our normal. Now, in this download, it actually has a normal GX and a normal DX. Or GL and DX, that is. And that's for OpenGL or DirectX. Blender, since you're using Blender, and this is, you know, simply just based on, like, whatever is rendering. Blender uses OpenGL to render. It doesn't use DirectX. So you're going to be wanting to use the OpenGX one. So, let's see. Normal GL. You can already see there's a little bit of a difference there, huh? Kind of gives you a little bit of more of the texture, if you will. And now let's go ahead and plug back in the height. And now you can see it's looking pretty good. But for me, at least, this is a little bit too rough. You know, like this is it's a good bump map, but it's a little bit too rough. I'm gonna rearrange these real quick, just so I can have room for something I'm gonna do a little bit later in the tutorial. So, if the bumpy's getting a little bit too bumpy, really simple thing. You can affect the strength, and yeah, that will change it. The distance is probably your better bet. I find that just based on a tutorial I watched, 0.05 gives you a pretty good amount of bump. You know, to where it's like, oh, that's nice. And you see the little divots go in, and like it gives you that 3D lighting despite this being a flat surface. It's very good. It's very cool. Now, here, I'm gonna move these down. From here you have yourself a basic situation, right? You have yourself a good amount of... Well, you have the texture on the thing. And as you can see, the repeating, it kind of like messes up on here. And this is like why there's benefit to doing the individual mapping for each face of the object. See, it doesn't really line up there. But if you're just showing one side of it or something, then all you need is this. And you can see on the bottom, it kind of gets messed up too. I'm going to show you one more thing. Since the concrete has the roughness included, we're just going to add one more image texture. This is just a little bonus here. And from here, you go and select, in the concrete, it says concrete roughness. Well, we're going to plug in this concrete roughness color into the roughness here. And that will give you the roughness that the texture maker intended. Oh, one more thing. I'm glad you stuck around. Hopefully you stuck around, Ben. On your bump map, your displacement, you're gonna want to set this to non-color, because bump maps are typically black and white images, because it gets how high up the bump should be from where it ranges from black to white. So different shades of gray bring it up or down, you know. So you're gonna want to have that set to non-color instead of sRGB or whatever. And I think that should explain it all. Like, you get quite a tree here, but really it all makes sense. This is your color. It's plugged into base color, of course. You get your roughness is plugged into roughness, easy. It's all just image texture. You just choose the images. It's very easy. This is probably the most complex part, considering you have to get the vector nodes in here. But I mean, bump and normal map, you're already putting in a bump map and a normal map. So, I mean, it's easy to remember. You get your bump, you plug your normal map into your bump, or if you don't have a bump, you can just plug the normal directly into this. Alternatively, you can also, if you only have a bump, you can plug this into this. We're just going over it real quick again. And Blender has crashed, so I hope that really helped you. Yeah, you know what? I didn't finish my little recap, but I hope that tells you what to do. Have fun doing it. Bye. Oh, and anyone watching, or Ben, or pretty much anyone, if you want more just little quick tutorials, I'm down to make them. Just like, if you have any like things you want to ask, just ask in the comments or something. At me on Twitter. Who knows? If I know how to do it, I might make a tutorial out of it. This is just a little for fun side thing. So and just to show my friend how to make how to do all that. So for now that's it. Yeah. See ya.